Hello, everyone, and welcome to the IdiotCast. I'm Keith Miller, and joining me today is Mike Savagnano. Today we're going to look at the Unreal Engine 4, a tutorial. We're going to watch some videos, and we're going to hopefully teach ourselves or have somebody else teach us how to make a game or how to use the engine to make something.
Hey, did you hear?
Yeah, no. What?
Wait.
Is it?
It's free.
It's free, that's right. It's my favorite cost. It's my favorite price.
That's why we're here.
No, that's right. Because if it wasn't free,
Yeah.
we wouldn't probably be doing this.
No.
So we're gonna, I guess, watch the video, and while we watch the video, we'll throw in our 2 cents, and maybe we'll learn something.
You can watch us be confused.
Yes.
I'm starting it.
All right.
Greetings and welcome. In this video, I'm going to give you a really quick rundown of the user interface.
Okay. So
in
we have
Unreal
downloaded this.
Editor. Now, I'm going to make this as painless as I can. For
And
starters,
I like
what
painless.
we're looking at is the project browser, which is what appears first when you initially
It's got a
launch
clean
the
desktop.
engine.
Yes.
Now, I'm
That man
does not
to the
fool
new
around.
project tab.
He is
So we'll
Unreal
create a
all
brand
day
new
and all
blank
night.
Project. Of course, you don't have to do that if you have a project you wanted to open.
No.
I'll call this one UI demo just so I know to delete it later.
That's good.
We'll
Yes.
make sure
It's a
that
good name.
copy starter content
Right.
is active to give us something
So
to
he's
look
doing
at,
a
and
blank?
I'll click create.
Okay. So we're gonna try
It'll take
running
just
this on
a
the
second
Surface Pro
to
2, by the
load
way.
up.
So it'll be interesting to see how this runs later.
And I'm going to run it on my,
And now once
my
that comes
PC.
in,
home.
we have a very
Chairs.
simple level and a few things that we can actually look
They
at.
look
in
like
the
Star
scene.
Trek chairs.
Now, I'm
going to
make this, again, just as
Future.
quick and painless.
Kind of a game
as
can
I
we base
can.
around
When
chairs
you first
and a
jump
table.
into the editor, probably the
Chess.
first
And checkerboard.
thing
Two
to
men
show
playing
you
chess.
is the viewport, which is this great big window that dominates the center of your screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is
I like
your view into the 3D world. We're actually going to talk more about viewports in a future video, so I'm not going to get too carried away with them now.
It's not. Hey,
Starting
hold your
at the top
horses.
From here, we have the
We
main
got some
menu bar.
chairs.
Now, this is pretty much like any menu bar you see in most computer applications.
Nice.
Yeah, like
Thanks.
the file menu where you can save.
Sorry.
what
I'm
you're
using a
working on,
mouse.
Create new levels, new projects, etc.
I've plugged it in.
We have the edit menu.
Universal
your
serial
standards,
bus.
Undo, redo, cut, copy, paste.
Invented
Also, though, you're going to
1998.
find your preferences for the editor as well as your project settings in here. Definitely worthwhile at some point to dig through at least the editor preferences and see the things that you can change around.
not
here
yet.
inside
I
the
don't want to
editor.
do that.
I don't even know how
That's
to
something
use
you
it
probably
yet.
want to do a little later after you've been playing for a while, but
Yes.
it's good to note that that's there.
Yeah.
Next, the window menu. Super important because this is where you can show and hide parts of the interface that are not visible by default. As
No.
you may already
Show
know,
and hide?
Why would I
Unreal
want to
Editor
show
is
the
a very
non-defaults?
deep application. There's a lot
Wouldn't
of
they
different
default the
facets
things
to
I
it.
need?
And to keep you from getting
As a
overwhelmed,
beginner?
a lot of the stuff that you can use
Yeah.
is actually tucked away here under the window menu. But we're not going to get too deep into that.
We're going to show you all the stuff we're not going to
Then
do.
we have the health menu. Of particular
I like how it looks
importance
like
here are
a
links
Chrome window.
directly to the
You
documentation.
notice at the top it has the
As
tab?
well as a link to
Yeah.
some initial tutorials that can
Oh, I
really
wonder
help
if they're
you
gonna
out
do
if you're
that. Yeah, I
just
wonder if
getting
that's, like,
started. So
different
I highly
projects.
recommend, if you haven't
Yeah.
yet, to at least go through the welcome to the Unreal Editor and camera
I think
navigation.
that's what I thought that's what we're
tutorials
doing.
as
I feel
well.
like it didn't look like this when I
So
opened
now,
it.
moving down from there, I'm actually going to jump over
I
here.
didn't see any chairs.
It says introduction to the editor.
There were very
series
few
of
chairs.
Common tasks that you will normally be performing, so you have some quick and easy one-click access to those. Some of the more important.
I like that
ones
the
you'll
line
see,
in the distance
things
implies
the
that, like,
save
it's
button,
limitless,
which is why I had to hit Control
right?
S these
Right.
days,
It's
quick
good,
access to the
is that
content
one-point
browser if you
perspective?
need to open one, as well as simulate
Single point
and
perspective.
play, which is something that we'll talk about a little bit later
made
in
that
a
up.
future video. Also,
Not sure at
there's
all.
an important menu that drops down here for quick settings, which control various things that you can
you read any of this?
show
I
and
can't see
hide
any of it.
inside
We'll have to
your,
watch this
viewport
video
and the
later.
overall environment.
We're looking at this
We
tiny
should really
screen.
watch this
To
video
the
later.
left from
It
here,
looks helpful.
we
So
have the mode
I have
panel. This
the
allows
setup
us to
at my
change
house
the
Yeah.
with the
mode
bigger
that the
TV
editor
would be
is
perfect for
currently
this.
in.
To have that up
By
on the big
default, this
TV
is
so you
in
could see the
placement
video
mode.
better.
This allows us to place
We're
certain
just going
objects
to talk
in
about how we
scene.
can do this better next
Say,
time.
for instance, if
The
we wanted
next
to add a light
video
source,
will be
we
the
can
same
switch to
video.
the, lights category. We could grab
better.
a
We'll make the
light,
same jokes
and I'll
about the
just
chairs.
drag and
Whoa!
drop that right into the scene. It appears on the table, and I can.
I like
tap it
how
in the air,
it's got the
and you can
corkscrew
see
and
that
the light
working,
bulb.
and drag it left.
Very
and right.
good.
Cool.
Now, there are other modes as
How
well
real
that
time
we're
it
not
is?
going to be able to get into right now. We have paint mode, landscape mode, foliage mode, and geometry editing mode, which are
I like
all
foliage
outside
mode.
There are
the
two
scope of
trees,
this
but very
video,
few
They're all
leaves.
different things that you can do within the editor. For now, we're going to keep things very simple and just focus on the placement mode. Straight down from there, we have the content browser. This is a panel that is so vitally important that it's getting its own video.
We should probably put some
just
walls.
a little bit later. The purpose of the content browser, however,
fall
is
into
to
Tron
allow you
if you go
access
off the edge.
to any exterior generated content, as well as any special
looks like a
content
meeting I don't wanna go to.
materials or classes
But
nobody's
that are
there.
created. For example,
I know, but like if you arrive
because
first,
I have loaded
Right.
up the starter.
And there's just a light bulb that you can
play
with.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
You see, there's a
It'll
list
be
of
some sort of
folders here.
test.
So I could
not
go
even any
under,
coffee.
say, props, and there's a huge list of really cool looking props that I can just
The
drag and
cu- the
drop in
cube,
whenever I
the
want to.
the
Here's
funnel.
The material preview mesh. We can just drag.
Whoa, it's huge!
It's
What do
a
you-
little big, so let me jump
knows
over
it.
here to the details panel, which I'll talk about
heard that before.
momentarily.
Yeah,
Just set
oh.
the scale.
Family cat.
Notice here to
Family cat.
let's say 0.2 by 0.2 by 0.2.
What is it?
It's a little
There's
ball.
a tiny little material preview sphere just for you to look at.
Material preview sphere.
Now that's the
Not
general
ball.
idea of the content browser. You're going to be doing
Should
a
we
lot
do
of
material
dragging and
preview
dropping
sphere
in here, as
simulator
well as just
2016?
double-clicking to
Is that our game?
access, certain
you get to be that little guy?
of assets.
It rolls
So, for
around.
example, even this little mesh that we just dragged
Sometimes
and
it's
dropped
big,
into the
sometimes it's
scene,
small.
I can double-click this
Oh.
and open it up in a special editor.
That's like a
So there are
trophy.
all kinds of editors within Unreal. Because you
great.
have several assets that
Layers
require
upon
those.
layers.
Say for materials, they have a material editor. We have a particle system editor called Cascade.
Okay.
We have an animation editor called Persona. It just goes on and on. But I
We
don't
just have
want you to get too
names for
overwhelmed quick.
things.
At least this quickly. Let's think
We're
of
very
it
clever.
as just the content browser being where you're going to access all of the assets that you'll be putting into your game.
They don't make games anymore, so
Jumping
they have to
to
name
interface,
the
we have
editor.
scene
It's their own
outline.
game.
Yeah.
This is a hierarchical list of all of the objects that exist in your level at this time.
I like to think all the
See, there's
writers from
already
Gears of
several
War are
in here
now
that
working on
named.
this,
We
making
have
the editor.
chair, the floor,
So they're naming the parts of
statue.
it
You
and
can
like
click on
naming
any
the
of these,
orb
it'll
sphere
automatically
and like
select those objects. If you take a
The
look,
locusts
the
have
two
come.
chairs
they've
They've
constructed all kinds of narratives
Click
about
on
why
the
these
first
chairs
chair
are
on the
here in
list,
this
get that
demo
one
environment.
selected. Click
We
on the
call
other
this
one,
chair
you get the
Marcus.
opposite
Either
one
that or they
selected.
fired
And
him.
really, that's the big
not as
purpose
good.
of
No,
scene
it's not
outline.
as
It's a way
funny.
Not as
to
acceptable.
see all of the objects in your scene. Now, it has some other functionality as well. You can use it to parent objects together, just as kind of a preview of
wish
what
I
I
could
mean
see
by
these.
that. If I grab the second chair here and I drag it on top of the
So you
first,
can make, so you can
notice
probably
how
drag them
the
both
second
together.
chair is now
I assume?
indented underneath the first, and that means they are parented together. So if
if
I
you
grab
move
the
one, they
chair at
both
the
move?
top and I move it around,
This is all right.
both
Yeah.
chairs
This
looks
belong
really
to the
easy.
ride. But if
So
I
what
grab
did he
just
do?
the
Just
one
like
underneath,
shift click?
No, he just
then
dragged
he
it
can
onto
move
the other one.
independently because he's a child and the one above.
Oh, child and parent. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
that-
And
the,
down underneath this, we have the details.
the three
panel.
arrows, the
The
X, Y,
details
Z
panel is
arrows are so neat.
Extremely important and useful.
Because you
This is
can,
where
I
you're
think,
going
if
to
it's like the
control
old one, you
all
can
of
still
the
move it without
properties
touching those arrows.
for
But if you
any
want to be precise and
selected
only
object
move it
in
along
your
that
scene.
axis,
So
you
in
grab
this
the
instance, I
arrow.
have the left
Like if I
mouse
want to
over
move the thing,
selected.
you just grab the
We
thing
have
and you
its
move it in
transform
weird 3D
information,
space,
so
which is
location,
confusing, you know?
rotation, and scale.
But if you just wanted to tilt it or turn it.
Well, turn it is a different thing. That used to be, I think, hold a button maybe? Like hold shift when grabbing it, used to tilt. But those three just move it only along that axis.
To any of these meshes, say the table, I can click on the table, move over here to the details panel, and you'll see the material
That's
has
the
been
materials.
applied here in the materials category. I can double click on that, and we
There's
are
the
now
blueprints.
inside the material editor,
Oh,
looking
no,
at all of the
materials.
various nodes that make up this material graph.
So I assume that's
Close
saying
that
like,
now.
here's the base
So
color.
that is a quick
Now
rundown
add this
of the
reflection map to
UI
it,
that is
add this bump
immediately
map to it, or
visible
whatever that
as
stuff
soon
is.
as you open the editor, as well as some hints that there's a lot more to the user interface that lies just underneath the surface. So in really quick review, we have the viewport, which kind of takes up the central part of the
So
interface.
like
We
things
have
are in the
menu
bottom
bar across
left.
the top.
Meshes and all that
toolbar,
kind of stuff is in the
kind of
top left. Like if
centered
you want to
just
add a
underneath the
box,
menu
you
bar.
go to the top left.
We have the mode
That's what he's
panel
touching right now.
in the upper left
And then the
corner.
top right is like the
The content
parent-child
browser,
organization.
lower
Right.
left
And the
corner.
bottom right is like the
Scene
attributes of
outliner,
that
upper
object.
right corner. Details panel, lower right.
And this
also
has
keep in mind
been
that all of these parts
Me
of the interface
explaining the thing
are
I just
very
saw.
audible. So we can put
Worse than they did.
our mouse on the little
nobody's
divider
watching
lines
this
between each one,
instead
and
of
we
the
can
real
move these
video.
around to make
They're
the
like,
most of our
we can
screen
learn
space.
so much from these
That
guys.
is a rundown of those interface options. That is going to wrap up this video. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, so
The next step is
watching
now
this
we make the
video.
game, right?
Right, yeah.
Yep.
Profits.
What was the name of the ball?
Material sphere cube? No.
Material simulator
Material something. Material design.
spherulator.
It's material design.
Spherulator.
All right. So, well, thank you very much, everybody, for hanging out with us and have whatever that was.
I'm gonna watch this again later, so I can actually watch
We're
it.
gonna actually have to see it, and then maybe we'll get a chance to fool around with the in-game engine so that we can, I don't know, figure it out maybe while they're talking and then get a more tactile understanding of it. But until then, thank you so much for hanging out with us. And I'm an idiot and he's an idiot. We're both idiots. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.